Hello people in that house are doing just the Cavan and Monaghan phone if I was up there. So we have a bit more detail, a bit more detail to talk about. So majority of these new cases, these 12 new cases are in the state. And I think I don't know, we're not too sure at the moment how it's got there, but I can't say whereabouts it is, but the people know who around it, they know about it. So there's 12 new cases, nearly 700 cases in Cavan, but there's a lot of people have recovered, which is great, which is honestly just, it makes everything worthwhile, all the lockdown and everything like that. Makes it worthwhile. That, we saved over 300 people have recovered, which is great, and unfortunately we have lost a few, which is tragic. It's tragic, but they have to try and look for some kind of positive in the dark time. I know that might sound very grim, but any kind of positive to take out of it is it's a kind of positive. So there's 6 new cases in Monaghan, which brings it up to nearly 429. So Monaghan's cases, we see Cavan cases going up, always nearly in the 12s now, 13s, around that mark. It's not gone up above 30. But if it does go up above 30, we'd be probably overwhelmed, because every day, on average, 2 people, 3 people recover in Cavan a day. Which is great. It's good to have that recovery rate. It might not seem much, but it's up, and there is a kind of small balance, but hopefully we don't lose it, and that's as simple as that. But it will be a long time. It will be a long time before probably things return to normal. But it's just what we find that it really is, and what we looking at the graphics and looking at things, it's mostly in big populated areas. There's a few isolated cases, but the majority of it's in very populated, people on top of each other really. That's really the thing. Like outside in the countryside in Cavan, it's possibly 1 or 2 cases, just isolated cases. But they're able to isolate properly and everything. But yeah, and it's just the thing too. I was just wondering. I was asking county council about this too. Like you see in other countries, the local authorities and or people that's being paid to go out with sprayers and spray the set and everything like that on the roads and on the footpaths on bus stops and everything like that. I don't see that. I really don't see it. With some benches, some park benches, give or take, do get cleaned, and some of the bins, do get a spray anyway. If you're touching the tops of the bins or whatever, the public bins. At least in Cavan, that's the way it's been done. But they're not out, cleaning the footpaths or anything like that. Or clean the roads or anything like that to stop the infection. But I don't know. Maybe it's not classified. I don't know what the government's take is on that. But I don't know. It probably has to be over a certain amount in the county for them to do it. I don't know. Because I asked and I didn't really get much from that. So, just we're told that they were cleaning bins. I knew that I knew that anyway. But just don't know. Simple as that. Just don't know. When things can go back to normal. Many people have asked me when things will go back to normal. And the thing is, if we keep the numbers down, I'm sure to God we can try and find some kind. It will be very different. It's not going to be like it was. Let's put it that way. It's going to be very, very difficult, both economically and both mentally and both physically too. It's going to be very difficult. And what I mean by physically and mentally, it's going to be difficult. There'll be a lot of stress for a long time after this is all done. And with people trying to find jobs and trying to get the economy up and running again, businesses trying to get back on their feet. And both physically too, because for a long, long time, and it's very, very obvious to see what the government's plans are. Everybody has to keep their distance, and that's the plan into the future. That's what's been talked about. That's what's been talked about behind closed doors. It's just about keeping people's distance in the future. So, is that what could happen? That's what not could happen. It's definitely going to happen. So people say out for a walk in the park, or there might be limits on parks, so there might be limits on playgrounds, or things like that. That's more or less I think what the government's line's going down and what they're going down to do. I don't know, but that's more or less what we've been told. But I'm not too sure yet. Simple as that, we don't know yet. The government are just throwing ideas out left, right, and centre, and just seeing what goes down well with the people, what goes down with the photos, I suppose. But I just don't know. As simple as that, I just don't know at the moment. It's very hard to predict. Very hard to predict. It's very, very hard to predict, because I never thought it would get that bad in Cavan. So it's very hard to know what could happen tomorrow, and it's very hard to know what can happen next week. And as I always say, take an hour by an hour, take a minute by a minute, take a second by second, take it day by day. day by day, taking the step and looking at the day and saying what's happened today, and then next day taking the same steps, just looking to see what's happening. It's not really the best idea to be overwhelming yourself. And I just say to people, take it easy. Don't over annoy yourself with the future. Because as long as we hope, as long as we're determined that we can get through it, and we will get through it. By God, we will. So please stay positive out there, and please take care of yourself and be safe, and bye.